Oh well, good evening and welcome to Drive to Survive Motorsports game special. Nah, it's I needed to go for a little bit of clickbait. I mean, it's in some aspect it's very true. In some aspect it's a bit of a clickbait for a title. But anyway, good evening, guys. Yeah. Well, I mean, I did the iRacing stream before. You know that shifter. Can you see that shifter on the behind? Yeah, it's visible. This rally style shifter. I won this in an iRacing event, so I am actually like iRacing esports professional. I've won stuff by driving iRacing fast. Anyway, maybe let's first figure out what we are doing here, because I don't quite understand iRacing UI, and the track was loading for 3 times as much as the slowest R Factor 2 track loads. Yeah, Joao, well, you asked me some time ago if I'm gonna stream the VC practice one day, but I wasn't meant to do this today. That's difficult to say. To do this today. Oh, okay. English. But before we start language talk again, well, I've been put on that graphics, so like we are racing with the young Crim 6, the Call of Duty multiple world champion, right, I think, who is driving for Rafa Club in real life, and he's here today in a GT3 car. But, well, Tom Bunton, the boss of Gridfinder, is here in LMP2, I think, and I'll be here in the hypercar, or well, in the GTP. 36 times COD champ, yes, indeed. I'm doing LMU thing on Sunday, and tomorrow it's Virtual Endurance Championship. Anyway, we have some setup here, and I hope that's kind of gonna work. I did some clicks before, but I have no idea how iRacing works here with the setups. I don't know even where to check what was the last lap fuel usage, but today we have 2 20-minute races and 1 quali lap session. Actually, yeah, for 2 quali attempts, so it's a short one. Anyway, FFB is off. Now my biggest problem with iRacing, I click on the secondary monitor and this happens. Yes, Jesper, indeed. So the game becomes windowed if I click on the secondary monitor. Oh, this is iRacing. I can crash into other... I cannot crash, right? No, I can drive through. Wow, magic. So, yeah, Gridfinder team put me into that graphics, and I said, well, it's Virtual Endurance Championship tomorrow, and I really need to prepare for that. But, I mean, it's kind of a nice opportunity here, right? Ian is racing and so on. And then we had some Traction GG article about MSG laying off workforce and so on. So I went full YouTuber clickbait mode. And well, I drove this car at Daytona, at that Daytona 10 hours event half a year ago, and I must say I actually quite enjoyed it. Alt-Enter might fix it. Alt and... Alt-Enter? The other Alt? Nope. Oh, yes! Ooh! Wow, magic. Nice. Well, Joao, thank you. You fixed my... half of my life. And, well, thank you, Jan, as well, for that. Wonder... Oh, iRacing in VR, alright. Well, again, I've never tried VR. So, well, half of my problems are fixed. Now the other half of my problems in iRacing. It feels like FFB, or like it feels like the steering is attached to the rear tires, and I don't know what I'm doing. But I have to say, the car doesn't drive too differently compared to the Le Mans Ultimate Cadillac, especially when it comes to a lockup. Let me have a nice lockup. Okay, I didn't mean to lock up that much. I locked the rears as well.
You got a penalty for cutting the course.
But it's kind of similar, like when you lock up it's so difficult to unlock, like in LMU, but it's much worse here, and you fully leave the brake and you still hear the lockup sound for quite some time. But well, I guess at some point you will hear and see me struggling. People say iRacing is a forklift sim. Well, it kind of is, but it kind of is the same in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and then we were joking at Le Mans Virtual when we were setting up that car, because there were two principles to set up the car. Like, I think it was Team Redline that mostly detached front ARB, and the way that their car handled was like a complete forklift. And we tried a couple of approaches as well, and the more it forklifted, the faster it was in some aspect. But at least we could always feel the front tires. But in iRacing, yeah, I just don't know what the front is doing unless I hit an anti-cut. Anyway, this is Zolder circuit, or is it Zolder? I don't know how to pronounce it in Belgian. And I still cannot comprehend it. Look at this. Like, this is actual corner. Like, who thought this is a legit layout, and that this wall sticks out towards the track on the exit? Like, what is this? I don't get it. And the cold tire effect is less deadly than on LMU, but I think on LMU, on cold tires, you predominantly understeer, but here you predominantly oversteer for a lap. This chicane is interesting as well. Oh, the car sound is fine. I have not checked if the volumes are okay, so I hope you guys can hear me enough and that you guys can hear the V8 enough. Usually I start the stream when session is about to move to qualifying and so on, but I thought that for today I should maybe stream a little bit of practice as well. This is almost flat out, and if you touch the grass it gives you a cut, so the system is so strict. Yeah, Jan, it was the same for me. Like, I arrived at the last corner in my first practice and I just stopped the car and I couldn't figure out where I'm going. I didn't know, like, where is the corner, so then, like, I saw pit entry and I saw service road, and then I realized, well, when I'm using the service road it's not giving me any cuts, so it must be a legit racing line. But I mean, it's great fun. I love circuits like that. It's just well, it's not a viable option in real life because it's so dangerous. The volume is perfect, copy. Now I had some good grip. And yeah, Like the hypercar or GTP, that's older it feels. Well, what would be the comparison? Modern F1 cars at Manicure or something like that. Kind of alright, but it doesn't really fit. But, well, the main question is, can I be fast in this car as well with my R Factor 2 and LMU knowledge? Can I use any of that? And I think it's really not that different in the end. Like I was thinking of what I'm gonna say today and what's gonna be the tone of the stream. Is it gonna be complaining about how bad iRacing is? And I had many things to say about that, but I think I will try just finding the good things of it. At least I think the setup is kind of drivable. Quite positive, but I think in high speed, like here, I just lose all the front, but I think this is like an iRacing thing, right? I think the front left just overheats and loses the grip, but it doesn't give me any info of what is going on or why is that happening. So I keep turning more. And always when driving iRacing, I get the idea that it simulates wheel spin better than any other sim. Like the corrections are just so like logical, or like corresponding to what I would see on YouTube onboards of real life. Because in LMU and on RF2, the grip on the exits, like it just feels like too changing, not linear as one would expect it to be, but really hard to put it into words. Solder is not laser scanned. Ah, interesting. Well, I mean... Oh, okay. I caught a slide. It's much easier to catch slides in iRacing than what one would assume from the online... well, what you can read online about iRacing. And I would think, in fact, that some kind of slides on Le Mans Ultimate is more difficult. This feels easier to drive. But not sure if it's easier to drive on the absolute limit. But then again, what is absolute limit on iRacing? It includes some lift and coasting, right? Winnie, I will do Alpine Challenge, but not on Saturday, but I will do it on Sunday, in the evening. Oh, you did say Sunday, yes. Sunday evening, it's gonna be for Le Mans Ultimate. And tomorrow I will stream the Virtual Endurance Championship 6 hours race with the beautiful McLaren 720S. We will drive together with my teammate Jesper. It's older, it's not really a track with sufficiently enough straight lines, sections that I would be able to read the whole chat. And at the same time I'm still kind of learning how to drive, so... Look, about cars being nice, I have not driven GT cars in iRacing yet, I think. I've driven a bit of Porsche Cup many years ago. I've driven a lot of that Mazda MX-5. Well, my I rating is 3333, so I've done some races. And I think I drove a little bit. Actually, I drove the AMG GT3. I bought it and drove it for a season or something, maybe for 2 months. And then I got sick, and then my license ran out, and I didn't renew years ago. And my biggest problem with that GT3 was that I absolutely had no clue what the front is doing. Just a dead feeling of like sponge. But this GTP, like I've driven it for that endurance race at Daytona half a year ago, and I really enjoyed it. Especially in high speed, it feels so nice. In low speed, it was quite some guesswork, but for the endurance, especially in the wet, like it was rain. It was one of the first wet races on iRacing, and it was quite logical, almost like RF2. Like I just knew what to do in the wet, and I really enjoyed it. And we got the podium in the end. I mean, it wasn't really esports competition, but still there were some very fast teams. Okay, yeah. Why did the rear stick? The front was on the grippier tarmac, the rear was on the gravel. Why did the rear not slide around me? Is it like ACC gravel, where gravel just have infinite grip? Weird. But anyway, happy to be still pointing in the same direction. Yeah, I missed a lot of messages. Hi Hachemi, the hybrid works here in quite a mysterious way. I think it doesn't work correctly. Like it's not increasing the range, it's just adding power. On the brakes you are regenerating, and then it's deploying extra power on the straights, but there are like modes which you can change 4 times per lap. So like here you have, if you click, you have like a couple of modes, and you see ERS battery charging and discharging, and then if you put it to like balanced, it will always try to keep at, well, 50%. And I think we just run the balanced for the whole 10 hours of that Daytona event. I keep thinking this corner is more open than it actually is. Solder isn't that far from Maastricht. Oh, interesting. Speaking of Maastricht, there is a good chance you will be able to see me again at Maastricht in January at the Sim Formula Sim Expo. I need to figure out how much liters I need, how many liters I need for 20 laps. Actually, for 20 minutes. I need to calculate. Actually, let me just do something. Nah, I don't know how iRacing calculation works, so I will just say I need 13.1 laps for 5 liters for 5.6 laps, so that's like, let's say 2.4 liters per lap. And then we will be doing 20-minute race, and we divide that by 73 seconds. That's 17 laps times 2.3, and that's okay, 40 liters. It's gonna be enough. Actually, that's what I had in the setup, no? Camber too low. What? Click to edit setup? I don't understand, but anyways. Oh, I guessed the fuel level in the first go already. Nice. Alright. This is so weird, having cars accelerate through you. Okay. Let's maybe check some messages. Hi Victor, hi everyone else. Victor, yes, I am on Ireland. I need maybe to quickly explain maybe my title of the stream a little bit. Yeah, the GTPs feel... I mean, I don't know how LMP1 would feel, but actually that makes sense what you say, that these GTPs feel like between LMP and Hypercar, because if you watch the World Endurance Championship and see how those Hypercars there handle, you will see that they are like very clumsy, very like heavy, move around in like a funny way, and LMU simulates that extremely well. But here it's just, yeah, like more like a smooth LMP1 experience to some extent. That's a good way to put it. And hello Marvin. Yeah, I'm trying to follow with the replies to my dear chat messages, but I will probably miss a lot of them. Yeah, the hybrid is what it is. That's off track. Why is that off track? Why is it not self-centering? Dear iracing, what is this about? It's supposedly, well, it's not 60 Hertz FFB, right? Let me... Yeah, because iracing has 360 Hertz, so I thought that should work, right? I don't know. Anyway, Alt... Enter? Yeah. Nice. And okay, I see Zolder was... I see. I mean, I was kind of surprised to read that it's not laser scanned, because iracing has everything laser scanned, kind of. Ah, copy on. Yeah, well, I don't have the latest True Drive as well. I have the older version because the new one is broken on Le Mans Ultimate, on the RF2, I think. It gives like FFB spikes. Wait, when is the Quali? Quali is in... Yeah, we have like 15 minutes to go for sure still. 25... Yeah, we have some time. It broke a friend's wheelbase. Okay, yeah, that's not great. But anyway, so well, guys, not sure if you saw, but Traction GD, my tongue, come on, Traction GG had an interesting update on their website. Not sure about other pages, but Traction got some LinkedIn info. They went there, maybe they had some inside info as well, but they saw that quite some people were laid off from MSG, which is not the first wave of MSG laying off employees. And then, I mean, you see me streaming Le Mans Ultimate mostly, right? And basically my whole esports career started in R Factor 2. And naturally it progresses through LMU, in hopes that the LMU gets Le Mans Virtual Series and so on, but that then some stuff gets transferred to RF2, or maybe released as RF3 and so on. So everything kind of depends on that. But then you see constant news about motorsports games, and then you start wondering, well, I'm here at Rafa Racing Club as LMU and RF2 specialists, and I'm able to win Le Mans Ultimate, I mean Le Mans Virtual style of top level esports, so that's why I'm here. But I don't really have any iracing or any Assetto Corsa Competizione references. So yeah, you know, it's quite important for my whole career to have MSG keep producing Le Mans Ultimate and to eventually have Le Mans Virtual Series. And if that doesn't happen, then we have to find some new plans, or like figure out what do I want to race, because if LMU stops getting developed, then people will eventually figure out they don't want to spend the money on a title that has less and less developers, or maybe stops having updates. And then what will we have to race? Well, we have iRacing, which is ever growing, and despite what I perceive as a very outdated graphics and poor physics, and a huge reluctance to update the tire model to something that would please real-life drivers as well, besides Max Verstappen. So at some point I will maybe need to re-evaluate everything, and maybe half of my streaming will be iRacing, and the other half maybe, I don't know, Assetto Corsa Evo, maybe now and then some Le Mans Ultimate race if there is enough people still on there, I don't know. So I have thoughts like that in my mind. And then it's always nice to have a little bit of drama and just assume that the life in RF2 and LMU is already over, so have to quickly try to find some performance in iRacing, right? No, I mean, until we have Studio 397 still working on Le Mans Ultimate, there should be possibility of Le Mans Virtual Series and so on as well, so I'm not giving up, but I'm just thinking. So yeah, then I come up with a very dramatic stream title. But I really wonder, like, for you guys, how is it watching me drive LMU, and then how is it watching me drive iRacing? Is it actually much different or not? I mean, one always watches what one wants to play as well, so we all kind of, or mostly we appreciate Le Mans Ultimate and RF2 more than other sims, so it's a bit meh to then play other sims. That corner is insane. I think the front left is just getting cooked, right? Would be nice to have like real-time temperatures. But I don't really have Motec installed or anything to just open the log after this. Yeah, Joao, well, again, delayed response, but yeah, 100 viewers peak was like insane. But again, it's people appreciating Le Mans Ultimate that then are watching this, so if Le Mans Ultimate kind of stops updating itself, then people will eventually not want to watch it either. Well, thank you Alex for the supportive comments. Well, I'm trying to go fast. Well, at the moment, I mean, this event with Grid Finder, I don't quite understand what, as I'm going off again, I don't quite understand what exactly is going on. There are like 14 or 15 cars or like drivers registered, so maybe they join for qualifying. But there are like a lot of prizes, but I mean, it's iRacing vouchers and so on. But I thought that like if there was an event like this in RF2, then the whole community would flock into it and there would be like a whole field of cars. But in iRacing, that doesn't seem to be the case, or what, I don't know. Maybe iRacing, every user just has way too much money to be willing to spend whole evening on earning 30 euros or dollars. And yeah, well, Joao, you watch for the streamer and not the game. Well, I'm trying to be the streamer that one would want to watch, so it would be difficult if I like completely locked myself to Le Mans Ultimate, let's say, and then it died. So I need to make my streams somehow watchable regardless of the game or of the sim. Stay away from GT3 and iracing. Well, I'm doing my best. Tire info. You know what? I tried to lock up for you guys before on purpose, but now I'm kind of pushing the car and I'm failing to lock up. If this was the Le Mans Ultimate Cadillac, I would be in that wall already like a couple of times because of a lockup. I don't know where pressures are, but maybe I just don't understand the UI of iRacing well enough yet. Hi Alexander, I'm using ultrawide 49-inch. I cannot get that corner correct. What is it with that corner? I think it's just a fast entry, slow exit or something like that. Like a very open entry and then it just suddenly cuts off and I don't understand the geometry. And yeah, iRacing for sure has a lot better competition, like high-level competition. In LMU, to be honest, there is crazy good competition in LMU relative to the player base, but that's because, well, we keep driving it, I keep streaming it, Michi keeps streaming it, and then, well, we have James Baldwin streaming it now and then we have some other very fast drivers racing often. So it kind of stays very high level. Let's actually try to pit here. I've not practiced the pit entry yet properly. Ah, it's the yellow cones, right? Okay. That's a weird pit entry. Can I refuel here? We can take you further. I wonder if that's like a legit sponsor that's paying for that logo to be there. No, probably it's just copy-pasted from actual solder. Anyway, let's just get new tires. Should be 7 minutes to quali. So maybe remove some fuel and hope that the setup doesn't get broken. It was 2.3 liters per lap, so we will have 3 laps. 2.3, well, 7 liters. 0.5, nice. Good to have decimals. Darius and Jake have been driving in IMSA Spa. Alright. I saw Yuri Kasdorp being very fast in iRacing nowadays. And we were, well, 5 years ago, we were big competitors in RF2, so then I think if I keep driving this for long enough, I will eventually be fast as well, maybe. I driving iRacing to save my future. I mean, I tried to explain it before. Well, basically it's just a bit of drama, too much drama from my side, but again, I need to maybe come up with a quick answer for that, because I don't have a quick answer. It's just bad news about motorsports games laying off workforce, and then my whole career as like a paid sim racer being dependent on Le Mans Ultimate providing Le Mans Virtual Series or not. So if Le Mans Virtual doesn't happen, then I am in trouble a little bit, and I need to change my course of action.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, the fuel tank is on the rear, so I don't know, like I think I will just drive for now. I can click around on the setup, but I don't really know what will happen. I want to have a little bit more neutral, how to say, well, a neutral aero balance in high speed. But then it feels like if I stiffen the rear third spring or like heave or whatever it's called in iRacing, I am just going to lose the rear elsewhere. I have kind of a good solid setup that I have got, so I just want to learn driving on it. But that's a cut. That's one thing that I cannot understand on iRacing. Suddenly the rear just... and it's gone. And it feels understeery until that moment. So the rear is getting cooked, but it feels like it's getting cooked less than the front, but then it snaps.
About 1 lap of fuel left.
Yeah, I guess I need... Ah, that's the kind of a lockup. Let me try to lock up once more, just for the sake of it, to compare with the LMU Caddy. Yeah, like, I would need to show it in slow motion, but
You'll have to slow down and give up the time gain.
I fully release the brake, but smoke still keeps coming, despite fully releasing the brake. Can I show my graphic settings here? Well, that's another thing. My graphic settings, like, I don't know, I have to do something with them because it's pretty bad. Is that visible on the stream? I think it is. This is on max quality, but then stuff is on low, and I think I struggled a bit with frame rate at Daytona half a year ago, so I just turned things off. Alexander, try to go as slow on RPM as possible, it will save me fuel. So 7th gear and low RPM, copy. I will try that. Well, about being good at the sim and being good at other sims, yeah, to some extent, but the issue is just that the speeding in pits. Alright, understood. Issue is that no sim is perfect, so every sim has like byproducts of byproducts of the programming. So before you figure out how to drive around those byproducts of not 100% correct programming, it just takes so much time. Hi Arne, thank you for your sub. Long time no see. Well, difficult to arrive at 7th gear because the straights are not long enough. Anyway, again, like the idea of this event is to beat the grid finder personnel, so I cannot go too fast. We actually had the same event last 2 weeks ago, and we had actually quite a nice race with Miguel Araujo or Araujo or Bonk. And it was good fun, but I didn't stream it. Yeah, this feels like Le Mans Ultimate when you have some crash. So that's believable. Let me take the stop and go.
Pit boxing 10. 5.
And about layout of Zolder, I think it's just Zolder alternate or something like that.
Here.
Do we have to serve it or can I... Ah, I still have the penalty. Well, session will move very soon anyway. So about rain sport competitions, good question. Yeah, issue is that rain sport is a bit dead. Like I don't know, it's so tricky to answer it because part of it is just R factor 2. And then there is a lot of this Saudi money coming in, and if that stops, I guess things suddenly shut off. They are not really developing it at any respectable pace at all. Like they needed 2 years to bring 3 features, as if there was like no real plan to update it. Like it just takes time, as if they were trying to prolong the process of the feeling of the game being updated to please somebody with money. I don't know. It feels strange. And then there is huge money into it in esports, but so little people are watching it. And now we have like people like Nikodem Wisniewski, one of the fastest sim racers around, and he was dropped from G2 after half a year because G2 dropped out of ESL R1. So what should I make of it? And yeah, my notifications are working in OBS. It's quite nice. For some reason in iracing I can have my OBS stream preview on without stuttering in the game. In LMU I have game running at very poor frame rate if I have OBS on secondary monitor. Hi Michi. Well, supposedly it should be 15 plus drivers. Again, I'm seriously surprised. Why is this not fully booked? Because there are like nice prizes relatively to like the effort that you have to put in. So I don't know where all the people are. We had like 7 or 8 last week, and they said today it's gonna be fully booked. We have Ian Porter, Mr. Crimsix himself. And I'm quite confused. I mean, I said to myself I'm gonna stream it either way, and I'm gonna race against myself either way because I just need to kind of get a bit of comparison between LMU hypercars and iRacing hypercars, because it's very interesting to do that and have a little bit of chat about that. But yeah, again, if there was an event like this in R Factor 2, it would be like fully booked. 2 grids. I don't know. Is iRacing dead? And yeah, for rain sport, like you need some bizarre amount of money, like $100,000 to like buy the license to compete in there. And they actually managed to persuade top esports teams around the world to pay that money. Hi Kamal, so this is not my first iRacing race. I have quadruple 3 I rating, so 3,333. So I have done some races, but quite long ago. But yeah, cold tires. Again, it's quite funny how in iRacing the cold tires affect the rear mostly, and in LMU you just understeer. I don't know how to take this chicane. Yeah, these traction zones and the exits of corners in iRacing are probably the best aspect of iRacing to me. Like it's really good. Like you put down the power, you can kind of feel the slip ratio increasing and so on. But TC does its job remarkably smoothly and so on, so it's quite pleasant. One more lap. Solder is so confusing.
Have about 1 lap of fuel left.
Feels like the corners just all like break in half in between, like at the apex. Bit of a micro lockup, which is again the same as in LMU. Too much gravel on the apex. And full send and across the line. That's probably close to my
There's the
PB.
flag. It's over.
I tried to find some setups for this combo, but I couldn't really. Like it looks like there is really no racing with the GTP cars around here, so I could not really find any references or any YouTube guides. I watched a GT3 YouTube guide how to race around here. Anyway, garage, and let's put this to 40 liters. And this... What? Wasn't this different before? Maybe it turns off the other mixtures for Quali? Anyway. Couple of more minutes to go. We can watch a bit of Cream 6. If I manage to do it. I don't know what I'm doing, like how to see other cars. Or is it a private session or something? Ah. So Tom is stationary. I don't understand this UI. Anyway. Yeah. I need 10 subscribers and then I start earning money. Well, I guess with 1,000 subs, I mean, it's a brilliant checkpoint or benchmark or like milestone. But yeah, if I want to stop worrying about my future and become full-time streamer, I don't know at which point that happens. How many viewers would I need in like at the same time? 500 with 50,000 subs? I don't know. Anyway, let's see. We will take it one race at a time. Yeah, the high speed grip. Yeah, that's the weird thing about iRacing. Like, it just feels as if there is so much grip. Like, you can feel the softness and like it just turns, and at some point it just says Oh, actually, no. No, I will not turn from the front. And you cannot really feel it. You just need to expect it. And to my understanding, that's just the front outside overheating. And at some point, the grip just disappears in kind of an unnatural way. And you just need to know, like, you need to know from muscle memory or from somewhere, because you cannot see the temperatures in real life. And it's a bit of a shame. It just makes it less approachable, or it makes it require way more effort to get to the same pace. Hi Gasper, how's the feeling? Well, I'm waiting to feel something. No, it's nice. It's nice to drive this Cadillac GTP. I think it's probably I appreciated the Mazda MX-5 more. I drove quite a bit of the MX-5 when I was going from 0 to 3000 I rating, and it was just a good car. I had some brilliant races with it. But GTP is alright as well. But I just cannot go away from noticing how much better LMU is in simulating hypercars in every aspect. Again, I don't understand the iRacing mentality here. Like, how is it that there is there so many events with prizes or what? There is quite some prizes in iRacing. I mean, in this event, but people are just not doing it. Or iRacing is dead. Nobody drives it anymore. Hi Jake. Yes, we will all run Formula Sim Racing 25 WC in iRacing. Yeah, well, let's see how LMU does. But in the long run, if I drive iRacing and if I turn to be actually quick in iRacing, it's not bad, right?
One to go. Next time by. Line up on the left side. Pit road is closed.
Is it tab? Yeah, for the reference. It moved my HUD, I think.
Catch the pace car.
Catch the pace car. I'm catching. But I think... Well, let's see. I might actually do some iRacing competition in the next months. And don't be surprised if I suddenly do one iRacing stream per week. Or maybe even two. But you know, when Assetto Corsa Evo comes out, I will drive a lot of that, and I hope you guys are kind of hyped as well about it.
Going green.
Going green. Ah, okay. Do I go here or do I wait for green?
Green, green, green.
And we are racing against myself. Yeah, this corner feels a lot better now on cold tires somehow, because there is no overheating. Gasper, yes, exactly. I don't know, like the hype is insane, like the amount of views and the likes and how much people are looking towards it. Just, I mean, I didn't research the hype, so I don't know exactly if the hype is close to 10 or below 5, if I can just select a random numbers. But like the views and the likes itself and a couple of videos are just so huge. Yeah, no, let's not crash already in lap 1. And I mean, I'm quite old already, so it's easier to get hyped if you're 15 compared to being 30 plus. And still I watched at least 3 different you know, when what's it called, the trailer, when the trailer was released, I watched the trailer and then I watched 3 different people watching the trailer. Or actually more than 3. I watched Michi, I watched Jimmy Broadbent, I watched Misha Sherudin, maybe somebody else. And I'm like, well, why am I watching that even 3 times? Like I'm supposedly here very neutral because all that interests me is just be quick in some sim. But I'm not really ACC guy or anything. And I was just spending there and giving my precious time to a couple of YouTubers watching a trailer. So there is some magic going on behind that AC Evo that is... Well, I hope Kunos lives up to the expectation. I have not watched Nils. I have watched Jardir. So 4. It was actually funny, like I thought of watching it live at the start of some stream as well, because like that trailer is so funny. It keeps saying it's not about how old you are, it's not about what car you drive. And I'm like, yeah, it's surely not. It's only about force feedback and about the tire feeling. That's all that it is about. But well, they had a different answer to that. But I hope that in the back of their minds, of the developers, FFB and realism of the tire model is their #1 priority. Well, #2 maybe, directly behind the sales. Well, Nicholas, I guess that's a good thing, right? I mean, there's a couple of ways you can do that. You can have a really hardcore sim, and you just implement the driving aids in such a way that it's super easy to drive. Like in RF2, or even, well, predecessor to RF2, well, the old RF, R Factor 1, and F1 Challenge before that. Like, if you turned on all the driving aids, then without much sim racing experience, it's impossible to drive. But if you put all the aids on the braking help, the steering help, basically you don't even need to drive, like the car drives itself. I think it was even the case that if you put all the driving helps on, the only thing you needed to do was just floor the throttle, and the car drove on its own. And then you could gradually decrease the aids, and like it was very approachable. But I mean, I know it's more about the story and I mean, kind of a career mode, you know. That's what casual player wants, probably. But the main thing I want from AC event, I'm really looking forward to that first time when I'm gonna load the track on the car, and I will do my first corner, and the only thing that I really want is to feel to feel the front outside tire interact with the asphalt. And it's gonna be a big moment, and when I turn in, if I don't feel a certain thing, I'm gonna be very disappointed immediately. But if I feel something, then it will be immediately very nice. But you know, you don't need crazy CPU demanding physics and FFB. All you need is like a good groundwork and then a fine-tuned set of parameters, and then you can get cars like Tatius FA something, like the old Assetto Corsa, but like a Formula 4 or Formula 3 car, which still up to this day is to me one of the best cars ever in sim racing. It's the one that we drove for qualifiers for that Monaco competition. So Gaspar, you will remember it. That car was so nice. And it's just, well, all the Assetto Corsa physics, and it handles absolutely spot on. So yeah, like a career mode, or like a story mode, where you maybe start with that Golf GTI Mark 1 that was teased in the trailer, and then, I don't know, drive around the Nürburgring roads, which they teased in the trailer as well, and there is like, I don't know, a broken Misha simulated in the game, and you need to drive him to the apex, like the house where they have, well, he's not Apex anymore, right? What's it called? Vulcan Alpha or something like that. If you watch Misha Sherudin, you will know. You drive him there, and then you get some money and a new car or something. I don't know. Like just thinking of a cool story mode that they could do from it. I would play that instantly. Oh, hey, Andy. Andy, my apologies. I will be back on LMU soon. Andy, Le Mans Virtual Series, please. I need it next month. So in this corner now I don't have any more overheating because I'm just turning less. Is it just me, or are the GT3s super slow relative to how the hypercar to GT balance is in Le Mans Ultimate? Well, we have GTEs in LMU, so GTEs are a bit faster than GT3s, but still, it feels like the caddy here is ridiculously quick. Not next month, alright. I keep hoping this chicane in the end is flat out at some point, but I guess I'm wearing the fronts too much again. What a chicane. Actually, this is a nice qualifying track. Ooh, but that's easy flat. So I guess I need to cut the first apex like crazy, and it gives me no cut, and then avoid the second apex because I get a cut there, and then it's easy flat. Is that curb usable? Not really. Yeah, into overheating again. Why is that off track? I had two wheels on the track. Dear iracing. Yeah, I think why is a corner very easy flat out one lap, and why is it not very easy flat out next lap, even though I approach it in roughly the same way? It surely has to do something with front tires overheating. And then I'm thinking of how difficult it is to be near to the optimal limit for like esports hot lap. You just need to know exactly where that very marginal window is until which you can push and above which you get overheating. Ah, there we go. Okay. Oh no. You know what I just realized? I'm enjoying this. I think I'm enjoying this more than, let's say, driving LMU Cadillac around Bahrain. But well, Bahrain is a track that I really don't like. But this is easier to some extent. I mean, I know that as soon as there would be like one esports driver suddenly putting in half a second per lap faster lap times, I would get very frustrated. But just from driving and pushing the car to the limit, it's, I don't know, this is nice. Well, I mean, we can talk about why that's the case, or we can think about it, and my immediate explanation would be that in LMU you're just limited with slip angle. You get like too high slip angle and therefore also overheating and lack of grip. But here you can be at a good slip angle, but overheating will still kick in. So you can be like driving correctly, but overheating is just so prevalent that actually you're limited, you're soft limited by slow overheating, And that overheating just makes everything, like all the grip changing, a bit more dampened. So then everything just happens more slow. I hope that made any sense what I said. Oh, that corner is so nice. And then there is another thing in iRacing, which is that you need to be on brake pedal, you need to trail brake like in no other sim. And that's on, I think on any car, well, on any car that I have driven, you just need to be on brakes to have the weight on the front a bit more, for whatever reason. In LMU there are cars like BMW where you have like absolutely no chance to trail brake because it will micro lock up everywhere. So you just need to like almost lift like in ACC into apex and kind of coast for a bit. And there are cars then on Le Mans Ultimate which can take quite some trail braking. But here is the same for every car. And it's so tricky for me because I can feel the oversteer coming and then my muscle memory says, well, release the brake and just gently tiptoe around and a little bit of throttle for the balance. And then I get understeer like this. Difficult. Ooh. Interesting. What else can I say? You don't get damage from that in iRacing?
Left side, clear.
I just realized that I'm going probably too close to the GT3s. Because there is a bit of bad netcode in iRacing and I don't know at what point I get some ghost contact by the netcode. 2 laps of fuel. And how many minutes to go? Okay. That's alright. Ah, the fuel is fine, yeah. The race is gonna be over soon. iRacing is about to find the right window. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, everything is about finding the right window. Although, well, in some sims, the window opens up and never closes. Like the old RF2 tire model on the GT3s. The more you turn, the more grip you have, but well, that was fixed.
Real nice work. This is the white flag lap. You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
But what troubles me the most about iRacing, from my experience from that 10 hours of Daytona practice, is that you supposedly had to lift and coast to go faster, because if you just, without any lockup, if you went into corner, you still had a bit of lockup, like not lockup, but just the tire temperature went up on the front inside, without any lockup. So you just needed to brake earlier to have less temperature build-up. And I was analyzing Motec and scratching my head, and I was like, well, what is going on? Why is that the case? But we see people going slow into corners, and I even remember Dave Cam, like 2 years ago, having some kind of revelation when he went from left foot braking to right foot braking, and he gained time by that. But yeah, like right foot braking just means that you're effectively gaining a little bit of lift and coast, and therefore having less temperatures and therefore having better pace. Anyway, it's a checkered flag.
You won. See you in victory lane.
And we will have another race coming after this. But again, a shame that iRacing people just don't bite into this, and I think Gridfinder promoted this event quite a lot. I'm quite confused. Again, 15 people were signed up. Anyway, I'm having fun alone even. So that that works. It surely is a bit frustrating where you're just limited by how cheesy the tire is, and then you just melt it even though it was in a correct operating window when it comes to like load and slip angle. Ian dropped connection. This game is not esports ready. This UI, I don't understand this UI. Is it my graphics settings or what? Like, it just, everything looks so dated. I don't want to mess with this, to be honest. I will need to watch some videos and make it more visually appealing. But we have another 20-minute race coming. And I will take 1 liter more. Ride height 30.6. That's too high, right? It needs to be less. But why is it shoot up like that? I don't understand any of this. Torsion bar. Fly. Done. Okay. Oh, nice melting. Thank you, Andy, for the GG. Yeah, I heard, Colin, that LFM is trying iRacing, but I absolutely don't understand that. Like, why? Why would you make LFM for iRacing? Like the thing that works the most on iRacing is the online system. So why?
Clear.
So why have another online system? For RF2 it made sense because it was just lacking the online system. But then it received the online system, so LFM died. Well then, anyway, RF2 kind of died as well to some extent because LMU came. Dan Suzuki graphics video, I will watch it. Maybe next week. We have 6 hours of RF2 Interlagos tomorrow. So that has to receive full focus. Spa IMSA, right? Well, I will probably do some more iRacing IMSA. Let's see, like there is a championship coming and we might do some rounds there in iRacing. But let's see how that goes. There is quite a lot of IMSA series here. We have even a livery competition through Gridfinder. But yeah, like even I don't understand it fully. Like Rafa Racing Club is kind of partnering IMSA, and then IMSA is partnering iRacing, and then IMSA is partnering Gridfinder, and Gridfinder is part of Rafa Club, and it's, I don't know, like it's a big love triangle between them. And I'm just racing what they asked me to race, and I said yes, well, I will race this despite having VEC tomorrow. And that McLaren that I'm driving in VEC, that car is so broken. I can feel everything that it's doing, like it makes a lot of sense, but it's just not simulating McLaren in RF2, it's simulating Honda Type R with front wheels. And I'm really wondering how the GT3s will feel in LMU. I hope they... well, the new tires would for sure fix some of that, but yeah, let's see. Very bouncy. Only doing special events for iRacing. Well, iRacing has special events itself, like you don't need LFM for that, so yeah. I don't know. Hello Giacomo, welcome to the stream. FZX, how do I like hypercars? Well, as somebody said before, like this is not really hypercar feeling. This car, it's between LMP1 and hypercar. It feels less weighty. It feels more like easier to drive. It feels more linear, more like glued to the road. While in Le Mans Ultimate you really feel the weight.
Next time by, line up on the left side. Pit
You
road
really
is closed.
You really feel the weight of the car in LMU, and you feel how awkward they are to handle in some corners. And I think LMU is just simulating it a lot better. But just from the driving perspective, again, as I said some minutes ago, I prefer just driving this Cadillac GTP around Zolder comparing to having Cadillac hypercar in LMU around Bahrain. Well, that's like a cherry-picked combination for me that I would dislike the most, because I really don't like the hairpins and so on. But I'm locking up less here, and like I feel like I'm able to be more on the limit here. But again, the limit in iRacing is a very weird thing. It's just the limit of where the cheese melts. The round cheese in the corners of the car. LMP2 with boost, yeah. And the hybrid is not really hybrid here, it's just like extra motor. So yeah.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are racing again to feel some more iRacing. Yeah, the rear is cold. Ah, the front is cooked already. I don't know. I would really love to watch the temperatures, but it feels like it just cooks instantly, like the grip just goes. I really don't understand why you would make such a tire model with so cheesy tires. As long as you stay within that window, it's handling very nice. So like, the more I think of it, the more I understand why Verstappen likes iRacing. Because it's kind of driving like modern F1 cars. You just need to underdrive it like 3 seconds per lap, because otherwise the tire melts. that's consistent between real life F1 and iRacing tire models. Where is my delta? But it happens so early into corner, like I downshifted to 4th, tried to get any grip from front left and it just said, nope, you will not be gripping today. Let's jump a bit.
You cut that corner, you got to slow down.
I did cut that corner, yes. How much can I cut here? It's crazy. I can go like 4 tires off track, beyond the white line heavily on the anti-cuts, and it's not a cut. And then I stay with half a car on track and touch a little bit of grass somewhere in the other corner, but that's off track, so I don't understand why they do it like that. Yeah, FZK, they keep working on a better tire model. Like in the past, I many times saw different teams saying they are improving their tire model, and I had high hopes of it every time. Like Assetto Corsa Competizione, when it went from that was not a cut, interesting. ACC, when it went from 1.7 to 1.8 update, they said they have massively changed the handling and everything. I couldn't really feel a difference. It was still the same problem. I mean, I'm talking bad about ACC, even though I know that it's a very popular game, but I just... Like, if I drove within 1 second of esports pace, it was very consistent, very nice. But as soon as I tried to go faster, everything just broke down. And the things that you need to do there to be fast, I don't know. And yeah, Tyro model updates changed nothing, so about iRacing, all that I need is them to just, I don't know, decrease the cheesiness of the tires so they will not melt instantly. And the lockups, that it will immediately stop the lockup if you release the brake. Not that you need to like fully release the brake and wait for 2 seconds for the tire to unlock itself fully. But again, about iRacing, I mean, I wanted to do it like 2017. I was racing just in Formula Sim Racing with the Ghost Speed team, like just a couple of mates racing together, trying to click setups without knowing what we were really doing, trying to go for some RF2 high-level events. And we were thinking, well, let's go iRacing, there is just a lot more stuff going on there, and competitions with prize pools and so on. But I didn't, I mean, I had 50 euros maybe, I didn't have 500 euros, which I would need to buy everything, so... This locking up there felt exactly like LMU. It didn't go straight yet, I just had like maybe 10% or 20% of input. It didn't like fully detach front inside from my car, but it just... It felt remarkably similar to the BMW actually, that I drove at Kota recently in LMU. Into hairpins, with more than 10% brake input, you just had like 5% of front inside locking, and the balance was absolutely destroyed if that happened. It feels the same here. Well, Joao, I'm not fully sure, probably, but then again, what is everything? Buy all the content and then is everything like for life? So you buy like, what, 50 years of iRacing? I wonder how much that would cost. Am I doing this corner wrong? It just feels so weird, like that curb on the exit is weird as well. But this is not easy track to learn. But I'm glad I watched that video of the guy explaining how to drive this chicane, because if you touch the anti-cuts there, it's still drivable, but you just lose a bit of time. I just hope that at some time they release like a huge and actually significant tire update for iRacing. And then if after that real life racers say, well, this is actually realistic now, it will actually mean that it resets a lot of knowledge that the iRacing pros have. To be honest, I'm actually able to more consistently put the front axle around corners on this track compared to, I don't know, let's say the Isota Raschini hypercar in LMU around Kota. Despite having a lot more feeling in LMU. And like the more I drive this at the same time, the less I understand why people are complaining about missing FFB information about low speed and like about tire lockup threshold. Like in iRacing, you absolutely don't know anything about it. You just have muscle memory. In LMU you actually have some info. Well, if I may complain about iRacing for half a minute more, I have kind of a list of general RF2 or LMU complaints in my head. And then I try to apply the same complaints to iRacing and I don't know, it's much worse in iRacing, so I don't know, like the UI of iRacing is worse, the loading times are worse, it takes ages to customize things so you can drive it. Like it's just so counterintuitive, there are so many bugs. I mean, I call it bugs, but maybe it's just features that I have to learn how to work around them. And then there, like, I tried to pay for the well, 1 month or like 3 months of online license, and I literally needed to go through 3 different designs of iRacing UI to pay for that license. Like, I went through the UI, like the new modern UI, and then it went through some member site that is kind of 10 years old design, and then it went through some ultra extremely old 2005 design thing, and it felt like it was scamming me. It just feels so bizarre. Then you see LMU, it's so polished. It's so polished. It's so nice. It just looks insane. It works perfectly. With some bugs, but I mean, I'm saying all this with 15 years of RF2 and LMU experience, and F1 Challenge before that, which had some basic UI stuff that's still used in LMU, maybe. So, I don't know. Now I had some rotation, interesting, and I loaded up front left quite a bit. I think the thing that would suck me into iRacing the most would be the idea to farm iRating and get, I don't know, 8k or something. I don't know what's a good iRating nowadays. I know that top guys have 10k plus. But like, just the fact that you just need to race a lot of different stuff to get very high iRating, it's just such a nice, like, unintended career mode. Like, I wouldn't race it to just have fun, but I would race to get very high iRating. And then I was calculating how long it would take me, and I don't know, 2 years. $12k last week, okay. So then my goal would be 10k or what? I mean, the useful part of the goal would be that I would be able to sign up for the special events and actually get into Split 1. The more I drive, the easier flat out the last corner gets. Am I actually learning? Why did Delta die now? Maybe I was too slow into corner. Maybe my setup is too understeery after all. Wait, there is some trick with ARBs. I tried doing that before. You know, look, I cannot change the rear ARB. Rear ARB is 1, and I try to rotate, now it's changing. Why is that the case? Is there some threshold at which you... I wanted to brake. Is there some threshold at which you cannot change the ARB or what? I mean, it kind of makes sense that if you have some load on the car and you're actually loading the ARB, that it would not allow you to change it. Yeah, namesai one-click service potentially. Yeah, I guess all around for sure. Although if you want one-click experience in LMU, and if you are willing to look at the clock a little bit, then you can get a nice one-click experience every European afternoon or evening. But obviously, well, races are every 45 minutes and you need to know which time slot that is. And then don't have a big selection, it's basically just 2 races happening at the same time, like if you discount the advanced ones which don't have huge participation. Yeah, I'm not learning enough. Maybe ARB would need to be 5 for that corner. I remember for Daytona, ouch, don't kill me. For Daytona, we had rear ARB 1 for hairpins and then rear ARB 5 for that bus stop chicane, which I don't know why they are calling it bus stop chicane. He was trying to gently move away, but I got confused. Quite a lot more traction, although I don't know, like that the button just locks up. So it's on 5 now. Yeah, that's easy flat. Maybe for 3, maybe 3 for turn 1. A bit loose. Yeah, sorry if you cannot see that number enough, because it's too small. Or maybe hidden behind my steering wheel.
You're going to have 2 laps of fuel left.
2 laps of fuel left. That means the race is about to end. So 100... this is not flat out with 1. 100 I rating per race. So that's what, 70 races for me to get 10k. And then obviously it would be more and more difficult. 700, no, 70 races, yeah. Big dive bump. Ooh!
Left side.
Did I crash?
Clear.
I crashed him off. I didn't feel anything. Is that the netcode they are talking about? We will see the replay. Anyway, one last big send through the last chicane. That rear ARB makes a massive difference. Yeah, here we go.
You won. Yeah, we did it. Too bad it wasn't for $1 million.
Too bad it wasn't for $1 million indeed. Too bad it was not Le Mans Virtual Series. Alright. They set it up in a way that I don't break the physics. Yeah, it looks like as soon as I have a little bit of input, it disables me from rotating it. Okay, let's see how I crashed the poor guy. Is this the last chicane already? How to find the separate laps? Eh? Practice. Practice hit 1 warm-up feature. And then we put it to a different camera. And then we fast forward. Uh-oh. Is there a way to kind of... I was inside his car. That feels like R Factor 1. We were racing this all the time, like cars were inside each other for all the battles because of the very basic collision model. Again, I felt nothing on the FFB. But I was surprised by how early he was lifting. I destroyed his rear wing. But anyway, he was the only... Yeah, Charlie was the only LMP2, so he will understand. Alright. Well, what can I say about all this experience? It was good fun. I don't know, like there is all this shit talking about iRacing and it's very deserved, but at the same time I want to raise iRacing now. I don't understand my own feelings. Pro iRacer GTP driver, amazing. Well, I'm learning, I suppose. Copy, Daniele. I will print that quote. I don't know. Let's see, maybe when I optimize these bad graphics settings it will look a lot better and then it will feel a lot better as well. But let's see. So before I go off, a short funny story. We have tested for VEC before this iRacing event, and I loaded a setup from Jesper, and I improved by half a second. It was a quali lap. Well, I was still getting up to speed, but it destroyed the rears a lot, but maybe it was 4/10.5. Like, it just went so fast, and now we have basically 12 hours of time before... 14 hours of time before qualifying slowly begins. And now I don't know if I should just have sleepless night and do setup clicks for Virtual Endurance Championship or not. The results are ready. Well, it was a small, nice race. So anyway, tomorrow we have 6 hours of Interlagos in GT Freeze, and we will be getting eaten alive by LMP2s and the hypercars. And by other GT Freeze because we are supposedly lacking 5 kph in the end of the main straight. It's gonna be fun. Yes, Joao. Well, good luck to you guys as well for tomorrow. And yeah, I will watch Dan's video and optimize this, but it looks like it's very probable that I will be farming some iRating at some point, and I hope LMVS will be announced and I will not be doing iRacing, but at the same time, realistically, there is a good chance I will be doing iRacing. I hope you guys will appreciate some iRacing suffering from my side. Until then... Joao, you're not racing tomorrow. Alright. Well, looking forward to some annoying... from you. I think I will do Quali and the race start, and then Jesper takes over. Let's see. Soon 1k. Wait, how many subs do I have? I don't even know how to check that. I'm just happy that I'm able to use this OBS preview here. Mozilla. YouTube. I see Michi is streaming some VC practice. Yeah, five more subs to go. Well, thank you guys for all those subs. I guess I hit 1k tomorrow, and then I need to figure out... I want to make like 1k party and invite all the subs. Maybe I will make like a poll on YouTube, and then you can vote for that, but I was thinking of like some extra celebratory event, like setting up a server and actually having like, I don't know, some kind of drag racing contest. Like, I don't know, we go... Maybe if 16 or 32 people show up or something like that, and we just have like drag racing in Shelby Cobra or whatever other car. Maybe we mod something in RF2 and just get a nice long straight and just have some slipstreaming, and we have a nice winner in the end. And maybe get $100. I would need to be 1,000 for 1,000 subs, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. But maybe $100 for a random winner. That could get some people interested, right? Let's see. We will have some decisions made on that, and we should have some fun. Anyway, off to Interlagos we fly, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again for the likes and subs and the watching and the comments, and have a good night. Bye bye.